Oh man.
That's mad.
Like, now my niggas all fire, right?
Respectfully.
Oh, no, I
Respectfully.
I love the woman.
let it go.
A lot of laughing over here.
Nah, that was actually bad for you.
I'm a cow.
Drink your wooches, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, whenever you feel something a little aggressive, that's when you know it's time to walk away.
Okay.
Everything.
So
You leave that behind, you close that door,
So-
on to the next chapter.
is that your advice?
That's my
That's
advice to
slogan?
people.
Is that your slogan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was your slogan. Okay, my
No,
fault.
it's not my slogan.
What is your slogan?
My slogan is very simple.
Uh-huh.
You get it how you live.
For the drink? That's what you're gonna say?
Oh! I'm just talking about life.
No!
Still working on one.
If I write the slogan, no, I gotta write. I write
a little percentage. You know?
Push your
When it
teeth.
does numbers, nigga, I'm telling y'all.
You know what's crazy? I was just talking to this trainer about that. I was like, second, I need something. He's the man for the job.
Yeah, it is.
He's talking about that.
Alright, so you were talking before. You said, "What's your advice to Quavo?" Actually, let's everybody knows the situation, right? You know the situation.
I do, but I think you should.
Let's bring it back to life. Let's bring it back to life.
Somebody on it real quick.
All right, what was this? 3 days ago? What was it like?
Last week.
Last week? All right, last week. Quavo, the leader of the Migos. Also, he's uncle, right?
He is uncle.
He's uncle, right? The uncle of the Quavos. I mean, it's the other Quavos. I had a rough day yesterday, so please forgive me.
The Quavos. Pretty much what they are.
Yeah, Quavo got in an argument with his ex-girlfriend, Saweetie, in an elevator. He was reaching. Actually, I believe there was an initial swing from Saweetie.
Yes, we can't forget that.
We don't know what happened before that, but
We can't forget that.
No, forget that.
there was an initial swing.
Like,
Then Quavo happened to reach for a bag, swing both of them into an elevator. Then gets the bag in a little bit of an aggressive manner.
Just a little tussle.
She sits on the floor. He stands over her as if, "Bitch, I got the bag."
He looks at the elevator. Looks at the camera too.
And then he looks at the camera real quick, like, "All right, whatever."
no, he looked at the camera like bag secured.
Back to
You know what's funny?
Literally,
Like, it's with the day it happened. I guess I didn't know what happened. I was on Twitter, and this chick was like, Quavo was just checking that camera so that way he didn't beat her ass. I don't know what happened at this point. It was a woman that tweeted that, by the way. So I was like, what happened? So then obviously I'm scrolling down. I see the video. I was like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Yeah, I was like, wow.
I mean, it's a tough situation.
The elevators are tough for my man these days.
Facts.
All right, so with that being said, we won't ask our guests because you know what I'm saying. We protect our guests here.
Always.
But for the rest of us that we don't give a fuck, we'll speak on this. How do you feel with the situation? Both of y'all niggas.
You can have attitude on. Hell world.
Well, those situations kind of sucks. Like, I am kind of up on the whole thing about how she had the interview with Justin. How do you say it? Justin LA boy, Justin LaBoy, whatever.
Justin LaBoy.
Okay, wait, I know
Respectfully, Justin.
Respectfully,
whatever. And I heard her say that that shit about the threesome or whatever.
Okay,
So I think that's where it started.
Nah, well, the thing is,
I know there's more to it,
the
but
thing is that everyone perceives that to be where it started.
I'm just following what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I've heard some other things like it
The
started.
video came out a year ago, apparently.
The video was a year ago.
With the Justin.
No, the elevator video.
was a year ago.
Well, you know how perfect time.
Really?
Oh yeah,
You know.
perfect timing though, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
changes everything.
So you asked me how what I feel about the breakup or like the elevator.
How do you feel about the elevator?
situation.
I've heard some things. Some people are saying that
Listen, man.
he was abusive to her,
Listen.
and other people are saying it's not a big deal. It's just what happened to the relationship.
Here's what I'm gonna say. You gotta believe half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Yes, sir.
Because it just seemed like these rappers and elevators and football players and elevators are just not rocking. So it's just like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So I'm all set with
The
it.
elevator is undefeated, man.
I mean, first off, I would never want to get in an argument in an elevator because
Yeah, it's pretty
if something bad happens, nigga, you're going down.
Facts.
literally.
So y'all niggas just do y'all ride and chill. But Noel, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do have something to say. Actually,
Please. I'm here to listen.
Just relationship advice to all.
Take the
My 2
stairs.
cents. You can take it or keep it. Once it starts getting physical and hectic, leave. It's not.
Relationship over, no reconcile.
Just, just count your losses,
Quick
count
question.
your blessings, and just
Let's
carry on.
get clarification. What is physical? Does he have to hit her?
What if you have
Is it-
kids?
Thank you.
Are your kids gonna be watching you guys get into physical altercations in the home?
But then you're ruining. Then we're going to talk about marriage. Are your parents staying together?
I mean,
Just like how we just talked about.
yeah. I mean, it's tough, man. Like I said, it's a tough place, but I just feel like in this situation, there's no kids involved. So once it starts getting like this, it's just, I don't think it's.
Okay, so what do you consider physical though? Are you saying physical as in you guys are just like, I like the video, tussling for something, or is it he has to hit her, or is it just anything in general? Is it verbal abuse? Because I've heard that's a thing.
Oh,
Verbal abuse, you heard is a thing?
I know it's a thing.
Okay. I mean, damn. I don't believe in domestic violence.
Have you been?
You know?
Have you ever been in a relationship in that type of thing?
I wouldn't say so. I've thrown a couple things once in the direction.
oh, okay.
Phones.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It
Just
happens.
nothing great. It's just arguments, you know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But that's definitely not the vibe. So
Should just leave. That's
you
it.
should just really just. I mean, I want to say
It's
something,
being
but I
a
want to
personal
say it. Like
experience.
I would say, like
For personal
you
experience.
might want to shake Shorty a little bit, but I don't know about that. I just feel like that's also physical. So that's what I'm saying. Once it starts getting physical, just leave.
Or even thoughts about getting physical.
You know, just leave. I don't know. Kids involved, it gets a little tricky.
It does get tricky.
Listen, man. Daddy and Mama got something that'll be back next week, all right? That's what you tell them until you figure it out, nigga. That's it.
What just happened?
You know what I mean? But
Yo,
I
it's
don't know.
introduced to pop.
I can't really speak.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
Okay.
Migos though.
Yeah.
Culture 3 coming soon.
Hold on, before you go, I really hope she didn't just ruin the album because I need that shit to be.
Nah,
No, you heard that snippet when you were in the
that's
back of the
the
track?
Two snippets.
That snippet's fire.
That shit looked kind of fire. But anyways, let's continue on. Welcome to the 2 Weeks Notice podcast. I am your host Juwan, wishing you all watching a happy Easter.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You guys have a good one.
Yeah, it's
I'm just gonna introduce everybody real quick. So I'm gonna start behind the camera, and then I'm gonna go this way because we actually have a special guest with us today, and I'm gonna have Noel introduce him. So behind the camera, we got my man. You got a new do-rag on today.
Come on, man.
We call him
I can't see it, but it's it's red. You know what I'm saying? Really doing it big today. My man Killer Kof is going on.
Slide
You know what I'm
green
saying?
building.
Okay, you know what? I know for a week we've been waiting to see what my man's gonna say when he's introduced because this is a hot topic every week. Davison, say hello to the people, please.
What?
Yo, it's crazy because I never know like what direction that's
What's
going.
good with you, bro?
I
Dog.
Energy, that's energy, man.
Listen, man.
Okay,
We can count on that.
that's all.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
We got my man to the right of all of us here, tough crowd, Quasi. You know what I'm saying? If you like the hat, man. If you talk about the hat a little bit, the brand.
Inspired by the man Brandon Jennings, you know? Tough crowd, you know? Like the hat. I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, guess what? Red brim in the building, you feel me?
All right, guys. He just got out of the house.
What's it? Hold on. What the fuck are you talking about?
Red brim in the building.
Yo, what's the significance of a red brim? Does it mean anything?
No,
I
nothing.
talked about Grey Brim the other day too.
Nothing.
Black
I
Brim.
just like
the pink rims are hot.
I just like the different brims, you know. So you know, we don't do the black nasties. No black nasties. But you know,
The black rims?
Yeah,
You're above black rims.
I don't do those. That's not the wave no more, man. That's not the wave, man. That's not the wave, man.
You know what? Just for the sake of viewership, we're gonna continue on this.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Woo Juice.
Wagwan.
Yo, so to my right, we got my man Harry. My man got the fresh jacket. Like, about to solve a couple mysteries right here next to me. Harry, what's going on, man?
Show my call, baby.
How's it feel, man? How's your week, man? It was good.
It could have been a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? But it was.
You said we're still alive, right? We're here. We
Listen,
here.
man. I think, like I told you guys before, there's like I don't want to say a midlife crisis, but there's a crisis going on with niggas our age, and it's just getting tight. And I really have to have this conversation one day. When, like, I feel like one day when I really get brave and I really want to say some real shit, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna spaz. But today is not the day.
Today is
Just yet.
Musa.
But I'm telling you right now, there's some shit going on. I'm just waiting for one of you niggas to do a
Hey.
verse, and then the floodgates are gonna open. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, we gonna talk. We here to
I'm
talk
telling
about
you
it.
right now.
We here to talk about it, bro.
Yeah, we're here to talk.
We here to talk about it, man.
You wanna get into that little story?
No, we got to introduce everybody. You know what I'm saying? We got,
Yeah, go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? We got good company with us today, man.
Yes,
We
you
got-
do. Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? Then to my left here, got my man, Noel.
The
What's
one
going
and
on?
only
Yo, peep the shirt. My favorite brand bathing ape right here, Predator. What's that, Predator or
Predator.
Yeah, that shit's hot, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Appreciate
Well,
it,
how was your week?
appreciate
How was your week? It was good?
It was good, man. You know, just hope to have a eventful month.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Easter, everybody. March was good to me.
Yo, bro, I feel like March took forever.
I love March. It was amazing. It was a great time.
Definitely smooth. Definitely smooth.
It's great.
And then, Noel, you want to do the honors of introducing our special guest here,
Yes.
please?
To my left.
Mm-hmm.
But is my right hand man, Mr. Richard Rodgers.
Just give a boy a round of
Yeah.
applause.
Mr. Hill Mary for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we just call him. You know, he's done some things in the city
I appreciate that.
and the country.
That's fine. That's
Thank
fine.
you.
I definitely got to ask you about that, but before the end of the show. Definitely got to ask you about that, 'cause I remember watching that. The one in Detroit.
Oh, the Miracle on
Yeah,
Motown.
bro, that was crazy. So we're definitely going to talk about that on the end. But, hey, what did you want to start off with, man?
I mean, shit, I wasn't even trying to start like this, but let's have the conversation. I'm tired of this shit.
Speak your mind, brother.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
So I do understand we're at the age where like a lot of people we know are either getting married or having kids.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
I get that and I respect it, right?
Respectfully.
But for some niggas, this is not the time, right? So I'm chilling. My pops is trying to have a nice little conversation with me about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And this nigga is really going through his mind, really like, and he really thought about this for days. I know he did because he told me yesterday I need to have a conversation with you. And he's talking about like, yo, like when you're gonna have kids, like you get married, you gotta be the head of the household, all the other shit. It's like that's obvious. But why the hell would I bring a kid into this world with, you know, I feel like I don't have enough to give my nigga, you know what I'm saying? And I can't let this nigga come to this world going through the same shit I'm going through. So my thing is, let me just, you know, get the shit together. And then I'll be happy to bring a kid. But,
Or 2 or 3.
nah, no bullshit. I'm already, like, if I have enough bread, I have a lot of kids and I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Shit, when I was young,
you have a lot of kids.
But
and
money
you have
isn't
bread.
everything.
I'm joking.
no, that's true too. But, nah, money isn't everything. But security is.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Come on now, you already know.
Carry on.
Yes, sir.
And I can't be insecure about what I'm doing with my shit and bring a kid in that type of life. Like that shit crazy.
Mhm.
And I know damn well y'all niggas been having the same conversations.
It's been a hot topic. My mom actually brought this to my attention last week as well. I went to visit her, and that was the first thing she said: "When you have kids, because time's going." She was like, "You want to grow with your kids, not watch them watch you grow old." You know. And I was just like, right back to money. I said, "Listen, Mom, I would love to have a kid, but I can't afford it right now. I can barely take care of myself."
All right, so
She said she would help me. I know she would for sure. But like,
But you want to
she's really like, she's not hearing anything else, which is it's crazy.
all right, so you told me this because I don't want to go into the whole like our shit that we do with our parents shit. I get it. I was driving. I was thinking, what the hell I name my kid?
I think about that all the time.
Damn.
I know I'm
So
gonna
I
name
want
my
to
daughter.
hear everybody here. What's some baby names?
Nah, I'm not giving mine out.
Give your backup then.
Or like,
Can't
boys and girls.
Whatever.
Like, if I'm gonna have it, or just for anybody. Like,
No,
just,
if you're gonna have a kid,
What would you name it?
if you don't want to give your first one, give the backup.
no, I probably would name him. You'd probably be a junior.
Don't do
You'd
that.
be a junior. You'd be a junior.
Why not? Why not?
I feel like juniors are just. It's always a tough place being a junior. You have a lot to live up to. You do. You have a lot to live up to.
Well, you got a couple of juniors in here too.
Yeah, I'm
You know what
aware.
I'm saying?
You have a lot to live
That's
up
a
to,
fact.
and
That is a fact.
and sometimes like you don't want to be a junior. You want to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be
I hear you, but
blah blah junior. You want to be
But
John the Baptist, no Junior.
Here's
You know what I
the
mean?
thing. I'm bringing you in this world. So I'm gonna name you what I want. Okay? When you turn 18, you legally change that after I'm done doing what I gotta do. And then as far as like I haven't really thought about girl names, and it's kind of messed up. That's probably what I'm gonna have. So I need to probably think about that a little bit more.
Let's do the girl version of your name.
Joanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? Actually, I remember fourth grade when that.
Why not? Why not?
This episode's brought to you by the good folks here at Boo Juice. Take a sip. But listen, Joanna, man, it's not happening, bro. It's funny, my name is actually Manzanillo too, so it's like actually it doesn't work Joanna Manzanillo.
That's tough.
That is
Yeah, bro. I can never do that, bro.
Oh my
Hopefully, you should be
God.
good at basketball though.
PK, what do you name your?
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I haven't really thought about it. I have never really thought about it. I feel like when the time comes,
Let's think about it right now.
I don't know, cause nah. Cause when the time comes, I feel like I'll give him the right name. But for right now, I don't know.
What if you just had take a stab or something, just like one, maybe two, I don't know, like for a boy and girl.
Would you name your son? Obviously,
Adam.
Actually, think about you can't name a junior unless he's born the same day as you.
That's a fact.
Oh, you real?
Yeah.
Because
So our names are after
the days of the
the
week.
days of the week.
So if your son's born on Sunday, you name him PK. Like you're
I'm
gonna
not
make his
giving-
first name PK, give him a white name.
I'm not gonna give him a Ghanaian name.
You gave him a white name, right?
You Adam?
I just don't know what I'm
Don't
gonna
plan on
name
going the
him.
junior route.
Nah. I just don't know what I would name him.
You're gonna.
I
You
don't know.
I
can
feel like
definitely give his kid a white name.
I kind of feel that though. I feel like that's a moment when you have a kid that you.
You just know when you see the name.
Yeah, you just know what you're gonna name him right then and there.
comes-
You're looking at him in the face.
That's a good point because that's how it was with my dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
See
comes
that?
to you. Just
Yeah,
looking at
you
him,
know?
and it comes to
I
you.
already knew Billy's name was gonna be Billy. Yeah, I knew before like 6 months before.
That's like designating his dog Parlay. You know
But that's
what I
almost
mean?
okay.
Calling
But
everybody
I hear what he's saying, but like, so you mean to tell me? I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just
No,
saying. You know, what's his name? DeBrickashaw Ferguson. So, do you think his parents planned that, or do you think his mom saw him and said, "Damn, you know what? I got it."
Oh, what about that dude's name? That's name. He just went to the coldest to ever do it, or some shit like that. He just got to
I mean,
LSU or
he's
USC, UCLA.
he's pretty cool, bro.
His name is the coldest to ever
But
do it.
so I'm asking you. So, do you think his mom and dad lived in
That's
that?
tough.
But he's living now. He's D1 though. Now he's D1. They
You
manifested
name your
it.
son that? The coldest?
Might be the hottest.
You gotta have some balls to do that.
Yeah, sure.
That's fucking
The
hilarious.
coldest to ever do it.
His name's the coldest to ever do it.
I know. I don't know if it's ever to ever do, but I know his
It's
first
the
name is
coldest.
the coldest.
It's the coldest, and we can look it up. We got computers around. Let's see. You know, you can see, but it's definitely the coldest though. Like,
Nah.
No, actually, it is the coldest Crawford. I apologize for him messing up your name.
My
I
fault,
do apologize for that.
Now, well, honestly, I thought about naming my son Harry the Third, but everyone's like, no. I'm like, nigga.
That lineage is
I
fire,
feel like that
bro.
shit has to go forever, bro.
Harry,
They gotta be a Harry forever.
That's you too, man.
I mean, I would. My kid would have to be named Richard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there gotta be another one of you that's there. That's how I feel.
I don't know.
So you're gonna do it.
I don't know. I've been thinking about it too. Now, like,
I don't think you're
you
doing
know
it.
why I
really
might not
think
do
you're
it?
doing
Because all the shit that I actually have to, like, go through between me and my dad, even though it's not nothing bad, but it's just like, it just feel like it's too much pressure. Like, you just feel like you have to live up to that name.
Too long.
You don't want to fuck it up either.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah. But fuck that, man. Yeah. I'm not trying to have a kid right now.
It's okay, man. When the time
It
comes,
is
the time
a-
comes, bro. You
It
know?
is a hot topic, though. It is a hot topic.
Actually, you know what? This nigga's brother makes me want to have a kid, though.
Seeing him on social media.
See him online, and I'm like, damn, like,
He's enjoying the process.
he likes having a kid, bro.
But how does it feel to be an uncle now, though?
I mean, I've been an uncle or.
He very cool.
Oh yeah, well, okay. My fault.
Do your fucking research.
My bad. Let me be.
I mean, it's just not. Social media is social media.
True.
So, I mean, that's my take on it. Social media is social media.
Which is true.
You don't know what people are doing.
Which is facts too.
So that's just what I can't look at it and say that seeing someone else's life on social media, I can't.
Now, see,
associate that with my life.
I don't see his life and be like. I just feel like like for example, like my older cousin, he's just had a kid. And she's like 1 year old, 2 years old, right? Granted, he's like in his 30s now, like 33, 34. And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, damn, this nigga has a little version of him.
Yeah.
And I love that baby. Like, I love that baby. But I'm just like, I don't want to take care of you every single day because I can't ever leave and be like, I don't fuck with you. Like, once you have a kid, it's like, it's forever. So I want to be at that point. Because you got to think about it.
I think
Some niggas' parents be like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'm
bro,
out.
It'll be different though. Like when you have like, bro, like I never had a child, but I'm pretty sure like that's probably I think it should be the proudest moment of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have to make the right decision of who you want to have it with. So I'm pretty sure when you look at the baby in the eye, you're like, I brought you into this world. I'm going to make sure that before I leave, you're going to be set. You know, well, that's at least the plan initially, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure like your attitude probably would change like by the time you're ready to have like a kid with whoever you're gonna have it with, and hopefully it's your wife at the time. You know what I mean? Obviously, to make everything a lot easier. But I mean, things happen. You know, like nobody grows up and says I want to be a single parent, but things happen. So.
You know, what's that the other day?
I mean, there's outliers all the time.
I don't know. I feel like people do.
You said
people want to be single parents. Like
you said, fuck it, I'm gonna have a. You said
they don't want to deal with
A lot of people say
just
that.
mold their own kids.
So you might have a belly, I don't care.
Have a kid grow up and be like that.
He did say that shit.
I don't know.
You know, say that again, bro. Yeah.
They're gonna have someone like some people want to be single parents. Like they would rather have this kid embody everything that they like and what they do than share it with someone else and have to argue about it. Like you have to have when you're talking about marriage or like being with someone, you have to have those discussions. Like those take time. What are we gonna do with disciplining the child? Are you gonna hit the kid? I got whooped because that's how I learned discipline. Like I got yelled at. Some people don't have that same experience growing up, and if they didn't get whooped, they're like, I don't want my kid to be whooped.
They get redirected.
And then I mean, how does that turn out? I don't know.
I hear what you're saying. Okay. No, I get what you're saying. The only reason I was saying that, and it probably is like just a biased opinion, just from like what I've seen, just from kind of like seeing around me what not having two parents in the household does. But like I guess that was kind of not good for me to make a generalization of everybody. So I see what you're saying.
Because it's different. What's different when your parents are divorced? Like if your parents are together and they get divorced, that's different. But like some people don't know their other parent at all. You know,
Which is true. I know I've heard of many times people like, yo, like you don't have to be part of this.
yeah,
I'll take care of it
care
myself.
baby.
Which is also a crazy idea.
That's
I mean,
wild.
listen,
But that's also tough on the kid though, because
Right.
they're growing up not knowing, well, the majority of the time wondering what their other parents like or
Did they not like me?
yeah,
So we like
So,
all right, fuck it. Let me play some music real quick and we'll change gears, man.
well, how are we feeling today? What are we in the mood for today?
I think we wanted to talk about the employer thing.
Yeah,
That's what we want to talk about.
so you all right?
So you pause?
No, it's
play music.
So I'll just say this. Obviously, everyone's seen what happened to Paul Pierce. Okay. Thoughts?
It's like so like you think he should be fired?
I don't think he should be fired.
And you,
I don't think he should be
now,
fired.
whatever you guys want to say, I wanted to save it for this time right now. This is showtime now.
I don't think he should be fired, but it wasn't professional.
He's living his life.
I'm just assuming he'll be fired though.
Because he works for ESPN, right?
He'll get fined, but
I think he'll get suspended
He's
at
just
least.
living his life, man. You know,
Learning to get fined.
Uncle P, man. Uncle P in the
Listen, I
cup.
don't think anything should happen to him.
Nothing. He's literally.
First off, if anything, granted it's not good publicity, and ESPN doesn't need any, or ABC doesn't need any more publicity there. But, bro, if Paul Pierce did a show with him standing there and strippers shaking their asses and him doing like sports takes, that would be a great show.
Yeah, but that's not the show.
Yeah.
But the problem is he's not on the show. He was just in his regular life.
Yeah, but you.
I know. So basically, like what Harry's basically saying is, what you do outside of work shouldn't matter. But you're in a public eye, so you are held to a higher standard. Or you kind of like. I know Charles Barkley had the whole thing. I'm not a role model, whatever. Maybe I get it, but like,
Bro,
I mean,
all right, they literally say every single day on SportsCenter that James Harden goes to strip club before and after games every single day.
Yeah. man.
Yeah, but he's a basketball player. He's
And
not.
this nigga's an analyst.
Yeah, exactly.
So he has to kind of uphold the, I guess.
So are we saying that we need our analysts to be good people? They just analyze sports. They don't even play. Who even looks at me?
So this is a great conversation for the show.
We're not.
What inspired you to do the podcast?
You don't play music?
No, I'm been done. We talking right now.
We sat at the table
Actually,
at
didn't
lunch.
know that.
And I'm glad you
We
brought it up.
start arguing like we watch Stephen A. and them do on TV.
And I look up to them, right?
Yeah.
But I also like the great part about Stephen A. is that I just feel like he was also just like a ratchet uncle type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he was
Like,
also hilarious. Like he had personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want him to be perfect because I know that like kind of like Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is hilarious to me, right? I know he's not perfect, which makes it perfect to watch him.
Right.
But if I feel like you're too perfect, it's like, bro, like
We know you're not.
you can't make no real opinions because you ain't really been there.
That's a fact.
So when Paul Pierce talking about some real shit,
Exactly.
I'm like, all right, well,
Now
I know he does real shit,
Compete.
so he can speak on that.
You're gonna tap into him now.
You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
A
Like, I
lot
don't feel
of
like people listen to us if they didn't feel like the shit we're saying was actually facts.
But it gets tricky because if, let's say, for example, James Harden goes out and have a wild night, Paul Pierce can't be the one talking about it the next day on ESPN when he did the same shit.
He can agree. He can
Like,
relate to it though. He can relate to it.
Listen, I've been in those positions.
Exactly. Literally.
Yeah,
Speaking from experience.
I've been in those experience.
Who was better to talk about that?
Yo, Monica, where you at?
I think when you're in positions like that, I'm pretty sure they tell you, those corporations and organizations, they tell you like
Yeah.
what you do off the camera matters.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, they're gonna get more views now. On
sure
the jump
they need
and
it.
all that. Even more. More
You know
people
what?
gonna be
You know what?
doing
Let's ask our guest here about this because I'm pretty sure he would have some really good insight on this. So, yeah. So like as far as like social media goes, and obviously like your personality yourself, right? Do they like the organization that you play for kind of say to you, watch what you post, or like you have to only post this kind of stuff, or like do they kind of like how does that?
I mean, I think just in general, just growing up an athlete, I've always been aware of what I'm posting on social media just because of what adults tell you. You know,
Okay.
when social media first came out, we were a part of that. So it was like, don't put stuff online because it's gonna be there forever. And I took that to heart because what do you see? People get drafted, then all of a sudden they're going back to
The tweets.
when the dude was 12 years old and his Twitter. Like, come on, he's 12 years old. You don't know what he was doing at that time. Like, he's 12 years old tweeting something, and that comes back to haunt you. Like, if people get in trouble for that kind of stuff, and that's like, so I just always was never one to put something out there that I didn't want to be out there, and I'm just cautious about that. I'm aware of that at all times. But some people don't care about that, and they don't have to live like that, so they can put whatever they want out online, and you expect it from them. You expect people to be crazy, so you're just like, oh, you see a video of something like that, it's like, I expect that. If you saw a video of Tim Duncan doing something crazy, that shit would probably be everywhere.
Yeah.
You've never
It would be
seen
a little
it.
Yo, the bullshit that we
You even saying that just kind of
literally.
What you do in the spare time?
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yo.
So what do you think should happen to Paul Pierce with him? Any penalties?
I think they're probably gonna maybe suspend him, just for the fact that there was girls on there on his. I mean, you can do that. You have every right to do that. But like kids, I'm sure some kids saw that, and kids are seeing that now, and he's a role model for people. People look up to him, so there has to be some kind of example set, some kind of consequence for that. But I don't think it should be too serious. I mean, it's not. He wasn't doing anything that crazy that we haven't all seen before.
My whole thing is, again, I can't get inside of Paul Pierce's head and think like, wait, what was he thinking at the time? Because I mean,
Nah, that's fine.
but I'm just saying like.
That's no bullshit. Paul Pierce is probably the
he's golden for that,
Like,
man.
yo, only people who I want to see can see this shit. Like, you know,
He probably was thinking that.
I seen on Twitter he forgot to hit close friends.
yo,
Yeah, Bradley Beal tweeted that.
On the story.
Nah, Bradley Beal tweeted that.
Oh,
He
Bradley
tweeted
Beal,
that.
yeah.
Mind you, homie's like smoking blunts, like pulling, bro, like pulling. And you see me, yo, bro, but here's the thing. The most impressive part about the whole video, I just had to bring it to your attention earlier. Homie was getting a haircut the whole time.
You got a cut?
Yeah. Just get a cut, bro.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's a crazy atmosphere to get a haircut, bro. I'm tipping my barber $20 after that. Like,
20 bucks.
Tipping the $20. I'm like paying him. I'm for that haircut.
The best part about that whole thing was just the good morning tweet at
The next day?
10 p.m. Bro, the next day.
Is that Eastern Standard Time or is that
It
West?
was Western. No, it was West. No, because somebody looked it up. Somebody looked it
I
up
was
online.
just
I
joking.
was saying, doesn't matter.
Regardless, the fact that he did that, he just put the icing on the cake with that shit, man. Like, he's just showing everybody, like, hey, I'm human just like you. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, no, of course, man. Of
It's
course.
goated, man. I was. I'm never
So-
gonna forget.
Even like with the Paul Pierce thing we just talked about, like should that affect his standing with ESPN? You guys obviously saw the same. Well, I'm assuming you guys all know about the Michael Rappaport, Kevin Durant thing that just happened with Michael Rappaport leaking the DMs.
And KD.
I personally don't really respect that because it's like, bro, like these are two grown men. You're leaking DMs for sympathy. I think he was looking for sympathy, right? Like,
And he goes off on people all the time, anyways, too, doesn't he?
remember that time he beat with Meek Mill? That one time he was talking about he's trash and this and that. It's like,
He's just corny.
I don't know what y'all think about that incident with him and KD. Mind you, KD's out $50,000 for that.
And again, I'll preface this by saying we will protect our athlete here and we'll handle the questions for this.
Yeah, my bad.
We'll protect him for this one. No bullshit.
We got him covered, bro.
We got it covered. No bullshit. Michael Rappaport really did some bullshit.
But oh shit.
He's also done that many times on his page to other people. Like I've seen a video, like he used to do this all the time, and like when someone's talking shit, like I think some random dude was like, "Yo, I'll fuck your wife or whatever." He posted the nigga shit. Granted, the person that did that was not Kevin Durant. And when you're doing that to somebody who makes money in the public eye, you know exactly what's gonna happen. Cause nigga, my little sister can know if she took a DM and put it out there, she would have known that Kevin Durant's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
So it's
bro.
like,
He's corny.
you really didn't give a fuck that much, or you were that offended or whatever, that you were like, fuck it, I'm about to just ruin this nigga shit.
What was crazy? My bad. Go ahead, bro.
He's just a lame for that. Like he knew what he was doing. He was really trying to like defame and ruin Kevin Durant's image, hoping that people were gonna piggyback that shit and just like, yeah, Kevin Durant's wrong for this. Like I wouldn't even pay attention to it. That shit.
What he
whack.
thought he was gonna get away with that.
Why are you posting that? Why are you posting that?
It was just kind of weird because if you look,
Snitch vibes. Give me snitch vibes.
it was a bunch of Kevin Durant just talking and him just kind of not really responding. Like that
I mean,
was
Kevin Durant was low-key funny saying, I'm gonna spit in your face.
He was going.
That was hilarious, though.
He was going off,
That was
bro.
hilarious.
He said, where you at right now?
I'm spitting your face. Like, bro, what kind of insult is that?
Bro, nah, he said way
And then
more
dropped
worse
his
things than that,
address.
bro. He did?
Kevin Durant dropped his address.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he's like, come here right now, or whatever he said. And then he started talking about his wife too.
It's like Katie
I
got
was
me.
like,
It's like, bro, you like 7 feet tall. Man, relax, bro. Like,
Like, you really want to smack Michael Rappaport?
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
You
it,
just have
but,
one. You got one of your goons do
that's
that.
why but that's what I don't understand, right? If you have that much money, you definitely have niggas around you.
Too many.
So you should really just be like pressing buttons. You do this, you do that. Then for me to be fucking online and trying to like do this extra shit myself.
I just thought about.
Not even on the burner account.
You know what I'm saying?
This made me just think about the whole John Wall incident. Like, was it last year?
Oh,
remember that time last year?
Throwing up his stats and everything.
You just talking about things around you, right?
Yeah,
you got a bunch of dudes around you, right? And you throwing up gang signs, money, smoking, like, dog, we was just doing mad.
John was a blood.
Yeah,
But
I
like, when you understand that
I understand
your
that.
boys at a certain like level in the public eye, like you're not gonna try to protect them. Like same with Paul Pierce too. Like like I get it, but like
Someone threw that shit up in game.
But listen,
But I
John Wall was
but I
also bored
get-
because he didn't play for like 3 years and got paid mad money. So he had nothing else to do.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's a lot of other things you could probably get into. You know, like chess is cool. Although gangbanging is the alternative activity for NBA players these days, but you know, it is what it is.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to LaMelo for doing what he did. If you know, you know. But let's get to the interview portion of you know. Let's get to the interview portion of this shit. And again, we're here with our special guest, Richard Rodgers. I guess for people who don't know, what do you do for work?
Play football.
How many times have you said that as a pickup line?
Right?
No,
Not often.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Not often, man. Not often. I don't like people. I don't like people knowing.
You like people knowing?
I don't like people knowing that.
You think? Are you like embarrassed when people like?
No, people just people treat you differently when they know that. They feel like they have to impress me or something, and it's just not even.
So before you say, or if you don't say it, what if people just assume that you do? Because you are kind of tall, man. So like, yeah,
I mean, that definitely happens sometimes. Like sometimes people just take a wild guess, or they'll just come up and be like, "Do you play a sport? Do you play football? Some dude came up to me in Boston the other day and was like, "You look like you play tight end." I was just like, "Yeah, I do."
How you know?
That's obviously specific.
What gave it away?
You know what your number is. That's actually kind of crazy. Dude, I got you in fantasy.
All right, so you did say people treat you differently. Obviously, we won't treat you any different because I've known you for a really long time.
Right.
I don't do that. But have you seen any differences just from people that you know from like back in the day? Do they try to treat you a little different, or is it just like the same shit?
No, not really. I mean, that's just different because I haven't seen like
For people for a minute, right?
yeah, because I'm all over the place. Like I'm never really in one place. I don't see people a lot, and I'm not on my phone ever. I'm not in social media, so I like to live like in the moment. You know, I like to just be where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so when I see people, I don't know if they feel like I'm treating them different or if they feel like some type of way. I just don't know because my business is just not out there, and I haven't seen them in a long time. But I'm always friendly. I'm always gonna be cordial and nice, especially if I remember you. I mean, it's kind of hard to where people come up to me sometimes, and I just don't remember their name because they played against me or I talked to them, a couple times or whatever. So it's like, I feel bad about that kind of stuff personally because, all you hear when you're growing up, oh, don't forget me when you get famous and shit like that. People really say that kind of stuff. So like,
Bro, I'll just tell you this from a guy who doesn't remember anybody's name. It's really not.
Yeah, those facts.
Like, literally, I'm not a celebrity. Nothing. I don't play no. I just don't remember your name because I just don't remember. And every time I don't remember, I have my two trusty friends here to remember because they remember everybody's names. I'm like, yo, what's that nigga's name? Oh, you remember?
Noel's a guy.
Yes,
You can just recall that.
You probably have the name. You probably name and a number too. I mean, in his phone too.
Probably.
You got everybody's name in your phone. Really.
I'm not anymore. I
No
stopped
more?
doing that like 5 years ago. I'd rather memorize everyone's number. If your number's not already saved, I'm not saving it.
Nobody's phone numbers anymore, man. That's bad. It's terrible.
All right, so let's just get like realistically, how's the life in general there? Like you talked about it being like being by yourself. Is it lonely? Is it what people expect when you're being a football player, or is it just like I've been playing football my whole life? It's the same shit.
It's just, for me, I did the same thing in high school. I did the same thing in middle school. I did the same thing. I've done the same thing forever. I play sports. I go home, play video games, hang out with my friends a little bit. I just like to keep a low key life. I don't need to be doing a bunch of stuff. But if you choose to do that, like there's some people who choose that life. They want to live that life. Like Drake has said this multiple times. He lives the life of a rapper. Like he really lives that life. So like if you want to do that, you can. But I just choose not to live the life of a professional athlete because you can just slip up and get in trouble that way and just unnecessary stuff. So I just like to keep it low key and just go about my business.
Has there been any bad? I wouldn't say bad, but has there negative effects to you being low key, being in the sport you play?
Yeah, definitely. I know that. I'm somewhat smart, so I know that Instagram and social media is a big part of marketing yourself. My brother has however many 1,000 followers he has on Instagram, more than I do.
Yeah.
So like, he doesn't play a sport. He's not famous, but like he has more followers than me, and that's like, I don't look to that as like a point sticking in my life.
Yeah. So you just obviously, for you, it's just much easier for you to just be low key, do your thing, do your job, and go home. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So and the funny thing is, you hear a lot of those type of people like when you watch sports saying like, oh, this guy just like a come to work type of guy, go home.
Yeah.
So obviously, we have an example of that right here. So.
I have a question. What is it? How is it like? Like, do you feel like you always have to be positive when you're interacting with someone that you don't like a random person? Like what is that like? Like, is it hard? Like, especially if you're like having a bad day, you're pissed or whatever, and then you see a fan. And what is that like? What is that experience like?
That's kind of hard because you never know when you're gonna see a fan. You never know when you're gonna run into him. So it's like, you just really appreciate that someone like I appreciate when people recognize me as a fan. Like if they say like, oh, you know, are you Richard Rodgers or whatever? Like, and they're cordial about it. You know, I admire that because that means you really watch. Like football's, you don't really just notice football players because we have helmets on all the time. So like if you know who I am, I'm sure you're either a little bit of a fan of the game or you just watched enough to really be paying attention and see my face. So I appreciate that, and I'm always, you know, I'll be nice to whoever sees me and notices me. But if I'm in a bad mood, like I wouldn't be in a bad mood like towards someone that saw me. Because
it happens sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
You catch a athlete on a bad day, and then their perception of that person, that fan's perception is ruined forever. For example, future Scottie Pippen, you know, you guys heard what happened.
That's true.
So that person, you know, the perception is ruined forever.
I heard it.
Yeah.
But the thing about, I think that, and obviously I don't want to talk about you in third person, but like I feel like Richard literally, he lives the best side of the shit. Like he gets to be low key and not have to be like, oh damn, I have to fucking cover up and all the other shit. I can just be a regular guy because a lot of people are gonna notice me, but no one's gonna really bother me because I'm not like out there trying to be noticed.
Yeah.
And he still gets to live the fun life of like I still get to play a sport professionally and just like see how it is. And I feel like no bullshit. I feel like that's the best out of all the shit. Like some people like Aaron Rodgers, all the other people. I feel like
outside,
it's too much, bro. It's too much, and it's like,
damn,
damn, like I don't like that shit.
Especially in a place like Green Bay, you're pretty noticeable out there. Like, so, you can't leave and do normal stuff for sure.
Yeah, that's
But,
crazy.
I mean, that just comes with it.
I mean, what is it? I mean, I've never been to Green Bay. I don't really know anything. What really is there to do?
There's nothing to do.
No, I'm saying like
Play video games.
play video games and play football. That's it.
That's it. That's really it.
Yo, man, I did want to ask you. I see you have the Cal shirt on. I know that's your alma mater, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel obligated to attend Cal due to your dad going there, or did you just want to go there on your own? Like, what were the other schools you were looking at?
So I had obviously some great advice because my dad was a college football coach at the time, so he knew about the whole recruiting process, the whole operation, and I think recruiting is basically lying. Like they're lying. They're selling their school. I mean, you're a car salesman. So like, my dad being able to explain that to me really changes the way you look at things. When you go into a room and people have red vines laid out on the table because that's my favorite candy, like that changes. I'm not looking at that like, yeah, these people are giving me red vines because they want me to come to the school. I know what they're doing. They're trying to sell me on this. So that changes your perspective when you walk into a room, and that's a great thing to know as a player, as a perspective. You have a perspective of the coach who you're talking to. So not many people can say that. So like that was a big thing in my recruiting process, and I think that was one of the main reasons I went to Cal, because once I realized that was such a big factor, I kind of was like, I just owe it to my dad to go to Cal. Like I'm his namesake. I'm literally Richard Chris Rodgers II. Mm-hmm. So like he was saying, you want to live up to that. You kind of want to live up to that. And when I had the opportunity to go to Cal, I mean, my mom was out there, and I just felt like it was the perfect situation for me because I was born there. I was born in the Bay Area, and it really just made the most sense for me to go back there and be able to play for that school.
How did it feel to be like a Division I player when you finally like accomplished that goal for yourself?
That was kind of a weird thing because since I was little, I've always wanted to play a professional sport. So the accomplishment of going to college and playing, I didn't really feel that. I didn't really feel like first of all, I didn't play that much in college, and I only played 3 years. So I didn't really feel like being a Division I athlete was like a big thing in my life. I was focused on getting to the professional level, and I just feel like you have to be driven that way, or you get to the college level and you're like, man, I finally made it to college. Like I can shut it down. I don't have to work as hard because I'm here now. So it's like, if you're looking past that, you can really excel in college, and I'm not working for this. I'm working for something bigger than this.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's some bullshit, bro. Because I heard a lot of coaches, like, literally heard basketball, football, whatever, just from my personal experience, tell people, like, bro, like, you should be happy to just get to, you should be happy to get there. You know what I'm saying? So to hear you say that, like, that's dope, man. The mentality is a little bit different.
It's
You know what I'm
separation.
saying? Yeah, for real.
Each level is a different separation.
For real.
But with that question, you say they play a lot in college. Like, how does that work? Like, do you just get a pro day? Like, do people just do scouts just see the potential? Like, how does that work if you don't play a lot and you just?
Yeah, pretty much they see the potential. I mean, I knew that I wasn't getting the time and the airtime that people were getting, like the recognition. So I have to be. I mean, that just puts you in a state of mind where you have to be perfect. And my best ability is the ability to catch the ball. So in that sense, I can damn near be perfect. I can catch the ball, and I probably shouldn't drop it. Like that. That's something that I could work on every single day, no matter what I'm doing. I can catch a ball. I can work on my handling, whatever. Like, I have to be able to do that. And if I can do that better than anyone, that plays the sport, then you can't keep me off the field. That's just it. That is that simple. So, all the Instagram, and if you want to live that life, get that kind of recognition, you can do that, or you can just work and grind, and it'll come to you when it's right on the table in front of you.
Okay, cool, man. Let me ask you: do you think the transition from high school to college, like on the field, was harder than college to the NFL?
That's a very good question. I think going from high school to college was definitely a harder transition than college to the NFL, because the NFL is still, it's a professional league. So people are getting paid a lot of money, and there's a difference between trying not to fall into someone's legs and trying to hit someone in the legs because you're trying to make it to the professional level. Like in the pros, you're already there. You might look out for someone if they're in a compromising position. You might try to help them up and say, yeah, watch out. Like the veterans, they'll take care of you. But when you're in college, no, it's cutthroat out there.
Shit.
You gotta put it on the line, or you're not getting to the next level. You're not, and there's people out there that are really, from areas that aren't wealthy, and they're in these environments where it's like, you're telling me all I have to do is hit this dude harder than anyone else can hit him, and I'm getting paid, getting my family out of wherever they're at. Come on, I'm going hard for that.
All right, so a quick question, because he asked about high school. Obviously, you went to the same high school. I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to disrespect our school. Did they prepare you for, just like, was there anything that during football, during anything that you felt like, all right, I need to take this for the rest of my life? Or was it more like, obviously my dad's a coach, my dad's been trying to get into his life, and was his support more important than my school, but than our school? Because we did go to like a little bit of a different school, of course, with all boys school, and it gets competitive. But
I think the biggest factor in that is just the process, like the process of waking up, having to put a suit and tie on, and shave your face, like that kind of stuff. That's what, going to college after that, I don't have to dress up.
You felt weird, right?
Come on, people are complaining about waking up in the morning and stuff. I'm like, man.
I was up by 6 a.m. to go play ball.
Shaving, putting suit and ties on, having to wear a suit coat to school, and we can't have our top button unbuttoned or we're in detention. Like that will discipline you. You won't be thinking about waking up for class in college.
Even in the summertime, you guys had to wear the suit jackets and shit?
No.
After I think April 1st.
I always wore my shit though. I like my jacket.
But
It should make me feel clean.
Yeah, that shit got hot, man.
Yeah, it got hot. Sometimes it got hot.
After April 1st, she was good. I think it was October 1st too, in the fall.
Okay, got you.
That shit's dope though. I mean,
But that sets you up for success.
Yeah.
Waking up like that, going through the process, that's half the battle.
That routine.
that is fact. That is fact.
You know what I did want to. I'm sorry. I just thought about this. I heard that you were a fantastic baseball player. You want to just talk about that? Like amateur, was in middle school, you were throwing about 100?
I don't know about 100, but I was throwing pretty hard. I can still throw pretty hard. But baseball, I loved baseball growing up because my uncles played baseball. And, that I went to a bunch of Oakland A's games because they were playing. And that kind of just put me on the path to baseball. Just seeing it, I was just obsessed with baseball. I just loved it so much, and I was good at it at a young age. So I just, stuck with it. And I still like baseball. I just decided football would be the easiest route for me.
When you were going to those A's game, who was the best player? Was it Eric Chavez at the time? Miguel Tejada? Or are we talking a little
Miguel Tejada. Miguel Tejada. Miguel Tejada was my favorite player growing up because he was on the A's, and that was my favorite.
Good.
I just loved my uncles, obviously, but they played with like Mark McGuire, and there was they played when the A's were pretty good. So that was just looking up to them as that was like a big thing in my life.
And this is kind of to do with that, but did you enjoy the movie Moneyball then?
I did enjoy it. It was an interesting movie. I like just the scenes of movies. Like I love seeing Oracle and the Oakland Coliseum like that. That's one of my favorite places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing that environment is just I can deal with a movie just for that.
Wait,
It was dope.
hold on. For you, as a baseball player's son,
Yeah.
did you like the movie Moneyball?
It was dope because I remember the time. I remember when Jason Giambi left to go to the New York Yankees. Everyone hated him for that because the Yankees just kind of swoop everybody up to take you from small markets and just. And then it was funny because 2 years later, they actually lost to the small market Marlins, and I was living in Florida at the time. Nobody, bro, in Florida, everybody else is from somewhere else. So when the Cubs come in town, you see it blue. When the Giants come in town, you see black and orange. No Marlins fans. And then Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge, was what everybody called him at the time. He came there for 1 year, right? I think this was the best year in baseball history because he literally came in 2003 and won a championship and left, bro. I've never seen nothing like that, bro. Never seen nothing like that.
That's dope.
It was crazy. It was dope. I enjoyed the movie, man, because it was I remember all the players on the A's. I remember Tim Hudson, I think, right? Barry Zito, man, that nice 12-6 curve he had. Mark Mulder, the three-headed monster, that was dope. Yeah, bro, them dudes were nice. Jeremy Giambi, he was little brother, but he was always getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying, but he's pretty much Jello. Pretty much Jello. He's Jello, but yeah, no, it was dope. It was dope.
I know you said that football was the easiest route for you, but if you could have picked any other sport, if you could go back and pick any other sport, what would you have picked?
Any other sport?
Yeah.
I would golf for sure.
Golf?
Yeah.
Okay. Why golf?
You're just out there by yourself. You're competing against yourself. Really, it's just a mental thing, and if you put the work in, you can be that. You can be as great as you want.
Is that a second career for you?
No. if I really, basketball would be the sport I would play. If it was just a playing sport like that. I love to play basketball, so I would take that route.
When I see at those charity baseball events, you're quite the DH. Do you get any talks?
No.
Nothing?
No.
I must say, because they make bread too.
Oh, I know. I know that. Yo, paid $340 million.
You don't know who Sox want to call you
Right.
to just have a swing?
I wouldn't turn it down.
If they call me, I never play baseball. Shit.
Michael Jordan can figure it out. You can figure it out.
Oh, yeah,
Figure it out.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
Nah, bro. Hey, you figure it out. Who, out of all your time in the NFL, right? Who would you say your favorite teammate was, and why?
I don't know if you can you answer that? You can answer that, right?
Yeah, Devontae Adams, but he was my best friend when I was in Green Bay. We had the same agent. We were roomed together.
You guys got dropped the same?
Shout out to GA, man. That's my boy.
Devontae.
Good dude.
how important, because obviously we're 2 weeks notice and we talk about shit about like work shit sometimes. How important was it for you to try to find a mentor if you do have one?
I don't really have a mentor.
Okay.
But I think it's important. I think it's definitely important to have someone to look up to. I mean, I mentioned Tim Duncan because I loved Tim Duncan. I loved watching Tim Duncan play, and my dad was really the one who told me that how great Tim Duncan was. I didn't understand why he was so great until my dad really told me, like, yeah, this guy does it the right way. This is something that you could do, someone that you can look up to. And I just decided, seeing him, that's the kind of career I wanted to have. You don't see videos of Tim Duncan. You don't see him do anything crazy. He just went out, won his championships. Now he's doing whatever he wants, coaching, helping out, whatever. Doesn't matter.
It's funny because you said Tim Duncan a couple of times today, and now that I'm kind of listening to you and it's like watching.
You see Tim Duncan?
And honestly, like that's actually something important I do want to touch on. Like it is important who you look up to because you essentially emulate them without you knowing it. And you know what I'm saying, whether it's good or bad. So like, he said it twice, and I was like, damn, this dude, he kind of sound like him too a little bit. Like, bro, for real. I'm just saying, bro. You know, I don't know who PK looks up to. Maybe Charles Barkley, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking and sounding like your idols. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta look up to him.
Yo.
See the jab you trying to do right now? Oh man. You gotta sprinkle that in there for the show. I get it.
Who do you look up to?
Who I look up to right now, at least.
Charles Barkley, man.
Damn. Who do I look
I'm
up
not a
to?
role model.
Dog, you stupid, bro.
His donuts are mad good too.
Yo, they're that ass dog. Damn, who do I look up to right now?
Bro, I'm telling you. You even said the same spot as him.
If you don't look up to nobody, you look up to yourself.
I like that. Thank you for answering that.
No.
I look up for myself, man. You know. Nah, man.
Who's your role model?
I mean, my only idol that I've ever had in my whole life, honestly, was Kobe Bryant, man. The late great Kobe Bryant, man. Looked up to that dude since I was, I don't know how old, man.
17.
Wow, why do you yo, I hate you, dog. Let me have my sentimental time, man.
Take a sip.
Nah, man.
All right, so let's fast forward a little bit. Right now, I think you're most well known for how you say you catch the ball, but last second Hail Mary. You're the guy for that.
Facts.
Literally.
A couple of them.
How was that? Like, what was that experience like? You're gonna laugh at me, right? I'll steal your question, nigga. Go ahead.
Yo, his body, you get him off the set, bro. I'm professional.
No, that was just an interesting time, man. I was struggling that year. That was my second year in the league, and our team was in an interesting spot. And it was kind of that game was kind of the game. Like I got a lot of confidence from Aaron before the game because we had warmed up together. You know, we were out there early. He was throwing and just random. Like this is like it's so unbelievable because before the game, I don't know why we were doing it, but he was just throwing the ball up as high as he could, and I was just trying to catch it, like just messing around. So that happened before the game, and then obviously the end of the game we had the Hail Mary, and it was just kind of a weird thing. Like, why were we even doing? We were just doing that before the game for no reason, and he threw that ball. I mean, you've seen the video. You see how high the ball goes. Like it literally almost hits the rafters, and it was the exact same catches that I made before the game. Like it was just the exact same thing. It was just that was a weird situation, but I mean, catching that was great, and you know, it was obviously great for the team and everything. But I just don't look at that as that special of a thing because that's my job, man.
Bob was in his ear. Tell him to box out.
You know what's crazy, bro? And ever since they told me we were gonna interview, I wanted to ask you this question when I found out it was you that caught the ball, right? don't you find it a little odd, like kind of like destiny type of thing, that you and your father pretty much have two of the most iconic moments like in football history? Like,
Yeah,
you know, how we talked about the junior thing too,
Yeah.
like kind of living up to that. And
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
I've definitely thought about that. That's just a weird thing. Like I don't know. I just had a feeling that something was gonna happen that game. I just had people say it all the time. You just get that feeling. Like I just had a feeling something was gonna happen that game, and I mean I didn't know it was gonna be that obviously, but I mean my dad having his moment in college. That's obviously, like you said, one of the most recognizable plays in football history. So it's kind of special that I had another moment that's like that, and then I had the one in Philly last year. But just having those moments, they're like, yeah, that's a pretty cool thing, and I pride myself on being able to live up to my dad's standards and just be the person that he wanted, like he thought I had the potential to be. So having that moment was pretty cool, and it might be a little bit better than his moment. So
Shit was high. Shit was high. I mean, I think we need to. What's your full name?
Richard Christopher Rodgers.
We gotta have a third, bro. Third, see what he can do shit 3 times.
With that being said, with you saying it might be better than your dad's, how does it feel winning an ESPY over LeBron James? And can you tell us about that moment? Stuff like that.
The only thing I really remember, I remember a lot from that night, but the most important thing for me was just sitting behind Steph Curry, because I love Steph Curry, man.
That's
you know how I love Steph Curry. So I got to just see Steph Curry right in front of me, and I was happy. Once I knew he was sitting in front of me, I was just content.
Did you get to meet him?
I didn't meet him. I didn't.
So that's funny, because I'm literally thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm gonna ask you this: who's like, I don't think you look at them like celebrities, but someone who you feel like a celebrity that you met, that you feel like is the best person you ever met, like, or like the coolest celebrity. Because I met Silver's mom, and I feel like
You met Slipper's mom?
I met
That's actually crazy.
Oh, Enterprise.
Enterprise.
I just told me about that.
She gave me a tip and everything.
Oh, for
It's
real?
crazy.
Oh, wow.
You should have put your hand in
That
it.
is
Off the record.
Yeah, I literally stopped. I was like, I knew it was her, but I was like, you're in movies, right? Because like definitely seen American Pie, and she was like, oh, that was like, she sounds just like how she sounds on. Like I thought she was like making up a voice. Like that's how she talks every day. With that, oh my god, yeah. Like I'm like, so I was like, oh, like she's like, that was a really long time ago. I was like, damn, you were great in that. She was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, thanks. She gave me a tip, and I was like, all right, thank God. But listen, she's still fine though. She's old, but she's still fine.
Yeah, movie money.
But is there anybody really, or
outside of football.
yeah, outside of football, just anywhere you could probably
Anywhere.
randomly just stumble upon?
Charles Barkley.
I guarantee.
I really don't know. I
I'm
think
pretty sure if you met Kobe Bryant, you would.
if I would have met, I never met Kobe. I wish I would have met Kobe. I don't know. That's a tough question. I really don't think I've met that many famous people like
Oh yeah,
outside of football.
that makes sense. Obviously, because that's only like, you don't go anywhere besides this football anyway.
Yeah.
So okay, that makes sense.
Random. I just gotta ask you. You said you're from the Bay originally, right? Is E40 really like popping out there like that? Like,
Yes.
alright, cool. That's why I never really been there for an extended period of
I
time.
can
So I don't know.
confidently say yes. People still listen to E40 in the Bay Area, and he's a very good artist.
I was just there, man. They go hyphy.
Very.
I mean, I listen to E40, but I'm over here.
He has a large influence on the community.
So they, he's a,
I love the way that dude talks, bro. Like, that shit is like a whole other language,
I
bro.
do.
I like the ooh.
I feel like it doesn't get it's just duo here because we're from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But like, I love. That's E40.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta respect that nigga. Like, no problem.
So one more question about that Hail Mary. How do you like? What is it? Is it timing? Is it luck? Is it a certain skill? Like, what do you like? What's going through your mind when? Because you've done it multiple times. What's going through your mind when the ball's that high in the air and you see everyone boxing out trying to do the same thing? Like, what are you thinking that's different?
I don't know, man. I don't know really. I really don't know what it is. I can't really describe it. It's just I have to get it. Like
The second one.
since I've been a kid playing three flies up. You stand down there, someone throws the ball, and you just gotta jump the highest and catch it. And since I was a kid, I've been able to do that, and that's just I don't know what it is. I don't know why.
Granted, you were a kid that was bigger than all the other kids, so that makes sense.
But
it
these
also
dudes are out there.
It also helped
Can
work.
jump higher. Devontae can probably jump higher than anyone I've ever seen jump, and I don't even know if he jumped on that play.
Yeah, man, Sean Bradley's 7 feet tall, getting dunked on. I know he got into the accident. I don't mean to slander him, but I'm just saying,
The second Hail Mary wasn't, you really didn't jump on that one.
I didn't. I just
you
caught
waited. You waited and then.
I knew. I mean, that one I knew was gonna happen like it was supposed to happen. Because Hail Marys, you know, when you draw up the play, there's a jumper and there's someone that's supposed to catch the tip. And I've watched a lot of football. I watch a ton of football, so I see what happens. And I mean, it's easy as that. Like people say, like, yeah, watch film, you know, you'll be prepared. But it's really as easy as that. You see stuff happen, and then you just know what's gonna happen. I knew that the Travis that was jumping for that ball, I knew he can jump high. Like he can jump really high.
Yeah.
So I knew he's probably gonna be the one to tip this ball. And sure enough, he was, and I was just right in the position to make that play. Like, it's just little stuff like that. Like, because there's really no explanation to it. Like, the ball could have tipped to the left or something. But like, I was right there. I just had, guess like, yeah, he's probably gonna tip this to the point where it'll drop right in front of him and I can catch it.
You know what's funny? In my preparation for this interview, I probably watched like 4 videos about like right after you got like these catches happen. Oh my god! Like, and you're just like, bro, like I can't catch the ball. So like, I'm like, even when no one asked that question, I already knew how he was gonna answer it because I already knew how he's been answering it every single time. And I'm like,
dunking, bro.
you know what I'm saying?
Back.
All right. So when those like Hail Marys happen, they were both with Aaron Rodgers, correct?
No,
One was with Aaron Rodgers, one was with
Carson.
Carson, okay. So the one with Aaron Rodgers when that happened, I'm pretty sure this got double check time.
I forgot about that.
How did you get any offers like, yo, you guys should do a commercial, or was it just like?
I never got that. I never got any. No, I never got any offers for that.
Would you if they offered you, would you have done it, or?
Yeah, I would have done it. I would have done it. I'll do stuff like that. Like, if they want to pay me, I'll do it.
That's just out. That's what I'm about to say. Don't tell you trying to get fame off that shit, because like that shit would have been lit too.
Yeah,
That's real funny.
And I know you are into like playing video games. I know a lot of other sports players like are actively like gaming. I guess I don't know if they're gaming professionally, but they're streaming. Like do you do that as well? Do you see yourself kind of going that route after football ends, maybe, or any like?
No, I love watching streams, and I really, video games are a huge part of my life, but I don't like being on camera in the first place. So I know you can stream without I stream sometimes just without my camera on or my screen. Like, I'm not on there, but you can, like, I stream what I'm playing just so like my friends can see and stuff like that, which I don't mind it, but nowadays it's not just, you have to be on, if you want to be a famous streamer or something like that, really pursue that career, you have to be on camera. And I don't care to be on camera like that. I'd rather just be comfortable in my home and swear when I scream and throw my controller when I want without getting in trouble,
Okay. And just to keep it consistent with the video games, as far as all the players that you played with, who is the best 2K player that you faced on any of your teams or opposing team, or just anybody who's like in the league? Who's the best 2K player besides yourself? Like,
no, I don't know, man. 2K.
in the league.
Oh, in the league.
Okay. That was a lot.
That changes a lot.
The ball's pretty decent. I haven't played him yet.
I was just
decent.
about to say, do you think the wall is better than you at 2K?
I would never.
I was going to say, do not ever say that.
You don't
You will
have to
never
say that,
ever
but
hear that come out of my mouth.
history shows, brother. Numbers don't lie.
So, anyways,
But we're talking about the league here. We're talking about the league. So,
I've played with people in the park before, because you have the logo over your head in the park when you have my play or whatever. But I can't.
space. The running back.
Pump.
Yeah. He was tough.
Yeah. No, he's pretty good.
He gave me a kick.
He's not good?
He gave me a kick.
He
He beat me by like 8 or 9.
When you play park, you played.
Nah, it was.
They were playing
We were
that.
playing
Oh,
in
in person?
person, but he was
He's probably
fucking good.
he's probably the best one in 2K. He's probably the best person.
Yeah.
Who's this again?
Done now. Humphrey.
Yes.
He went to San Diego State, running back.
I'll be looking for him on the park.
Wendell Smallwood is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm getting some with you.
You're running
It
back.
doesn't matter. I don't care.
In Madden?
No, not mad. That's what I'm giving niggas.
You ain't Madden?
Nah, I don't play Madden anymore. I used to be good.
Yeah.
I don't play anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm good on Madden, man. Actually, yeah, I don't even.
Man, it's trash, man.
I know you said that you're like a low key person, and everything, but do you feel like since you like become an NFL player, do you feel like people expect more out of you, like as a person, since you're in the NFL?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people look at you, you know, people look up to us in the NFL, and that's something I really appreciate coaching because you can really affect someone's life coaching, and I've seen my dad do it multiple times, and his former players expressed that to me. Multiple of his former players have come and said like, yeah, your dad is a big influence in my life. I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today without your dad. So that, just seeing that and hearing that, like, that's something that holds a lot of weight in your mind. So I think that's probably the route that I would go to influence people. But I mean, as far as people looking at me differently or expecting more out of me, I don't really think that changes anything.
Right thing to be a coach after the career, no.
I really wouldn't mind coaching. I don't know if I'd want to coach like at a high level. I would definitely not mind coaching high school. I would like that.
Okay.
But high level coaching, that's a lot of time. Those they're in before us.
I'm sure our old high school wouldn't have no problem with you coming back. Not saying that you would, but I'm sure they would love you.
I don't know about that.
My boy trying to say where it's warm.
Like I said, I'm not saying that you would, but I know they would love it.
I know
how they think.
would. But I don't know if I can do that, man.
All right, Super Bowl. Did you think that the Bucks had a chance to win this year?
Again, repeat.
No, like last year, like how they won. Did you think that they had a chance? Like once you saw the playoffs, obviously, once you like did have a chance, did you think that
Yeah.
it was all out?
I mean, if Tom Brady's on the team, they have a chance.
Okay.
It's just as simple as that. It's really that simple. It's just like LeBron James. It's just like LeBron James. If LeBron James is on a team,
They're gonna win.
they have a chance.
Good luck leaving Brooklyn. They have a chance though. Good luck.
Yeah, I want to hear nothing about Brooklyn.
We're coming, man. We're coming.
KD don't even know if he's gonna be able to play. He probably talking shit online. Harden's at the club, and Kyrie has family issues. So you know what I'm saying.
So for leisure time, television, what do you enjoy? What are you into? What's your kind of
I mean, I watch a lot of different shows. I would say my favorite show that I watched recently is called Brockmire. Have you guys ever heard of it?
You told me to go for it.
What is that? Please explain this.
It's a very good show. And it's a very good show. My fiance's dad was watching it one night, and I heard what they were saying, and I was just like, "What are you watching?" It's Brockmire. I'm like, okay. Didn't think anything of it. I came across it probably 2 months ago, and I started watching it because he said that it was funny. So I'm watching it, and I'm just like, man, this is a good show. And it keeps getting better and better, and I'm just like, wow, it actually changed my life. Like, it's crazy to say, but that show changed my life because it's basically, it's a baseball announcer, and it talks about, like, he has a fallout in the booth. You know, he has a breakdown, and then he starts, doing crazy stuff with his life because his wife cheated on him, stuff like that. So it goes beyond baseball. But as a baseball fan and just loving the game of baseball, just being able to hear like the way he can paint a picture is just like, it's really impressive. And then plus on top of that, they have a bunch of other dynamics in the show. Like he has a media assistant who, handles like his social media because Brockmire doesn't know about, the internet and that kind of influence. And so he has he's a black kid. And it's like, that's that dynamic. He's a young black kid that doesn't really know anything about baseball, but he likes this guy and they just become best friends. They hit it off like that because, he learns a lot of lessons from all the experience that Brock Myers had, and then they talk about a lot of stuff. It's a deep show, but it really changed my life because it just painted a picture for me like, wow, like you can really dedicate your life to something and make a change for the good and be satisfied about it. Like his impact on baseball was he had a big impact on baseball, and he lived his life, happily, just being an announcer and having that impact on the game of baseball.
That's dope.
So it gave him, a peace, really.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That's what we're looking for. That's what everybody's looking for.
Right.
Man, peace.
What was it like this past season with all the COVID regulations and rules and no fans? What was that like? What was it like playing like outside?
It was very different playing with no fans. I think the biggest difference is for the young guys, like the players who have never played. Like there's a full year of rookies that have never played in front of a full stadium. So, like that's the game. The game is the fans. Like you can hear, like, when the ball's in the air, you can hear the crowd. Like you feel that, and that affects the way you play. Like when a ball's in the air and the ball's thrown, you know that everyone is watching that ball. All the eyes in the stadium are on you trying to catch that ball. And that's what makes professional football so challenging. Like you have to do it when everyone's watching. And that when there's no one watching you in person, like, you don't feel the millions of people watching on TV. It's just a weird feeling. It's like practice kind of. So you don't really feel the intensity is ramped up by 30 when there's fans, because it's just something about wanting to impress someone. Just like when they say, yeah, your girl's at the game on the side, like you want to go hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is. And you don't feel that this year because there's no fans.
Mm-hmm.
So you're excited for the fans to kind of get in there.
I love having the fans. Like that's what makes the game. So you need that.
So it was easier this year.
Yeah, very, very easy. Like, I'm sure there's other people that share this thought, but with no fans, it's just it's practice pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about this a little earlier. I don't know if you even said it on the mic, but it's not crazy. When we were in high school, actually to talk about this. When we were in high school, we used to always argue.
Right.
And I do give you the credit for giving me the idea that we could actually do a show like this. Because I remember we were in high school, and me, Noel, and Davidson used to let us argue, and you two, about sports.
It was a lot of
It was mad of us.
I was a teamer.
Every single day. We used to argue every single day. And I was like, holy fuck, I think that we can do something. But I didn't know how we were going to do this shit. Did you really think that we could actually do something out of this from those conversations?
Me personally, when I look at stuff, I whatever you think you can do, whatever you set your mind to, you can accomplish it. There's no circumstance holding you. If you really want to grind and get something done, you can get that done. And it's really as simple as that. I know you guys are a prime example of it. When Noel first told me you guys were doing the podcast, I was a harsh critic. I'm like, I don't know.
He told us.
If they can get this done. I don't know if you guys can get this done. Like that takes a lot of dedication and hard work, and I credit you guys because you have grown this into something that's special. And Noel told me, like, yeah, famous people, commenting on our Instagram, on our posts and stuff, like, that's a big thing. That's a big accomplishment because, from the start, you don't know what's going to happen. You guys could have just been talking, ranting, and just let it fall apart. Yeah, we're not going to show up this week. Oh, yeah, it's done. But you have to
We've been there plenty of times.
you have that determination and that drive. You can get it done.
That's dope. Hell yeah.
17 episodes later, man.
Facts.
Actually, it's really great.
We were just.
We actually probably recorded, no bullshit, probably recorded like 30
We got the lost tapes. We got the lost tapes.
We were just talking about that last week.
Remember guys?
Someone asked us about, our last guest asked us what success was, whatever. And that's what I said. I was talking about how.
I think it made you a fucking idiot. So go ahead.
I was talking about how, like, I feel like we already succeeded because
Just get emotional, man.
from then to now, there's been a lot of improvement. Like, there's a lot of time and work that goes into the shit that's being done.
Yeah, and that's
So,
success.
it's just crazy.
That's fire.
People are watching this.
Yeah, we're growing.
Yeah.
So man, I think we started. We had. I think the first episode we had a good amount of people, but I feel like more people want to watch to see if it was bad.
Yeah.
At first, I always think I'm like, yo, someone wants to watch to see if how bad is it gonna be.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, we weren't the greatest, but we tried. And then gradually, I'm like, all right, I feel like all the the people who really don't care are kind of like out of the fray right now.
Right.
And now it's just like we're talking to the people who actually really want to
Actually
hear
want to
shit.
listen to us, yeah.
Bro, it was crazy. We started off recording in like PK's room when he was living, right?
That shit was hot in there. That shit was hot in there, bro.
Literally.
My nigga.
Bro, we did it like 3-4 in the morning, bro.
Put the
Like,
blanket up on the window,
We're
the
doing a
window
lot. We're doing a
sill,
lot.
just to get so the sound won't be bouncing off and shit, bro. Damn, man.
we came a long way though.
Thanks.
We got a long way to go. But we came a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just dedication. You gotta stay with that.
Do you have any questions for us? Possibly. Maybe.
I have a question for Harry because Harry, the Boston Marathon,
That's go ahead. Go
the
ahead.
Boston Marathon bombing. Okay,
Yeah, that's a question.
That's funny.
That
You know
is
what's so
a good
funny?
question.
I never thought that anyone would ever ask me this question.
listen to this. This is the craziest thing in the world. So I'm in the gym at Cal Berkeley, watching or I don't even know. I don't know if I'm at Cal. I'm in the gym somewhere. I'm watching television, and the bombing happened, and everyone's just like, man, this is to me, like as an athlete, that's foul.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's foul.
Yeah.
Like that is just horrible that could ever happen. So everyone's just like in shock, like just tore up about this. The next face I see on the screen is this man's face. I'm like, wait, I can't hear this. I'm like, wait, what is going on? What is going on? Like, just
Wait, what?
is that Harry?
He was on the dude.
Is that Harry?
It was in the news.
He was on the news talking about he knew the guy or something. What was it? What was it?
All right, let me explain this.
Because I never heard it. I just saw you up
I
there.
never heard this.
I'm like, I know this guy.
I got you. I'm gonna explain this, right? All right, so the kid went to my school, right? First off, he lived down the hall from like two floors down, like 2 doors down. And you see this kid all the time, and he's like, you could kind of tell that he's just like I don't know how to explain. He's like kind of a quiet dude.
Mhm.
That someone like you guys know me. I would probably never talk to this dude in real life.
Right.
Wasn't he captain of the wrestling team?
I mean, he wasn't wrestling at our school. He probably captain like in high school and shit. But like, you could tell like me and him would never be someone that would really hang out, right? But we had a class together, and like he didn't come to class one day and he seen me. He's like, "Yo, you're in my class, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, like, do you have the homework or whatever?" So like that's how I just knew him. Just started seeing him here and there, and he had some podcasts and stuff like whatever. So we go to the fucking like the bombing happens, and one of my boys texted me, was like, "Yo, this kid looks just like this kid who goes to our school." And I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, he does. But I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way, right? We wake up the next day because we were partying on a Thursday, and we woke up the next day and literally the whole school's in disarray. Like, yo, it was him. It was him. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So they evacuate our whole school and shit. And like, I didn't really feel like going home because I'm like, I don't want to drive I don't want to go all the way back to Worcester. I don't want to go all the way back to Worcester. So I'm like, all right, I'm about to stay, and they gave us like a hotel that you can stay at. Stay at the hotel, and there's like mad fucking CNN, Fox, everybody who like news was everywhere. As close as you can get to our school, they were looking for any type of story. So we were kind of like, so of course, all right. So of course, like
This is my moment.
of course, we're just college kids who just didn't give a fuck. So we're like, yo, we're just gonna take some interviews and see if we can get some food. So these motherfuckers that are flying, niggas, like, I was trying to get money first. Like, he's like, all right, maybe we get some bread, like, cause I didn't really know nothing.
College Street.
So they're like literally like trying to find us. The thing that happened was the day before that shit happened, I seen this kid. Actually, the day after it happened, before I found out it was him, he came back to school, and and I walked right by him. Like, and every time I see him, he used to have like curly hair, and he's always like, you know, sometimes I might joke around and say some shit.
Yeah.
So I like literally saw him, and he had his head was shaved. He had long ass hair. Like if he was like the white version of my hair, and he literally just had long ass hair, and he came out and he just had like a fucking like a buzz cut type shit. And I'm like, I wanted to say something, but something in me just didn't say anything. Like, no bullshit. I wanted to be like, why you cut your hair? But I didn't say anything. It was just me and this kid in the hallway. So when they were asking for questions, like, who knew anything, I was like, I seen this nigga yesterday. Like, I literally saw him yesterday. He was at school. So they're like, oh my God, what happened? And like, I wasn't gonna try to put sauce on. I was like, yeah, like, he was a cool guy. And it was 420, so I was fucking last. So it's 420, and they asked me these questions. I'm just like, yeah.
He
like,
did tell me this gas though. I don't know.
I was like, yeah, like, honestly, like, I would never expect this from him. Because you really wouldn't expect it, but the way the story was, they said like his brother was kind of influencing him, and you could kind of tell.
Yeah.
But it was like, this nigga doesn't say anything, but that's how I ended up on TV.
That was I've always wondered that because I was like, man, I can't hear you. I'm just seeing you. I'm seeing your face talking about the Boston Marathon
I
bombing.
think I
I'm
went
like,
out every day. I think I had like 2 meals a day from like, I had 2 meals from like CNN, 2 meals from like you know, we just.
Shout out
Right.
CNN, man.
And I was
CNN.
no bullshit. I was getting food for the hood. I was like, yo, all my friends here were all together. Feed us all. He's like, oh yeah, no worries. $700 fucking freaking check. Motherfuckers paying that shit. All right, cool. I had to do it for the people. It was for the people.
that's a great story.
That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. Honestly, I never even. Every time, the fact you said that, I just forgot that even happened. No bullshit. I was forget
That shit was crazy.
Wow.
That shit was crazy.
That shit was definitely
That shit was another crazy time to be in Boston, bro.
Yeah.
It was like locked down, man. Cause my school was on Commonwealth Ave at the time, so like it was.
You didn't go- it was great by then.
So basically, they run past our school. So yeah, so we couldn't really go anywhere.
That shit was crazy though.
Yeah, we didn't have an option.
That manhunt, everyone was looking for that nigga. I was like, damn. But listen, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Prayers to everybody who was part of that situation. Obviously, I know it's been a while, but I always try to remember the people that went through that shit. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything else like? I don't know.
I just appreciate you guys inviting me on the show, man.
Come on, man. You know you can come back anytime.
I think I'll be back. I might move out here, so
Okay.
it might be
Breaking news. Breaking news.
I might be back a little bit more.
So yeah, breaking news. Come through. Tell this boy to hit us up.
I will.
Definitely get you work at 2K, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta practice.
Listen, we can do this after this, though.
I haven't played in a while, so
Okay.
I'm rusty.
Next gen, good or bad?
Good, very good.
You like next gen?
Yeah,
You like this 2K?
very good, very good.
2K21 better than 2K20 or no?
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
I like some things about it. Granted, I only played next gen like twice, but the current gen, it's just not. It's just I don't like it.
Nah, it's this game.
It's not. It's a completely different
This game is
game.
not meant for that.
It's a completely different game.
Yeah, so I gotta get next gen.
You have to, because if you enjoy playing 2K, you're gonna enjoy that.
Okay. Cause even with the stick shit, this nigga was telling me like you gotta like.
Shoot, it's really just.
I feel like it's more challenging, so it's cooler because it's not just all right, boom, easy. It's kind of like even the layups are kind of annoying. Like,
Yeah,
shit is hard.
If you can get good at it, you can really get good at it.
It's real. That's just fucking real.
All right, anybody else got anything to say? PK, I know you got some great anecdotes.
Nah, man, I'm good, bro. I answered all my questions, bro.
There you go, Lance. And some of mine.
I got a question. So, as you just stated, you were thinking about coming back to the area. But what's bringing you back? What's bringing you back?
Listen,
If folks want to hear.
What's bringing me?
you can say whatever you gotta say.
You
If
say
it's
whatever.
bad,
No, what's bringing me back here is I've talked to Noel about this multiple times. I would like to open a basketball gym for recreation because there's not that many gyms out here. I don't know. I mean, you guys
let's
tell
give
me.
this man a round of applause to do.
If you could, I know you more so Whistler than Boston, but if you just throw that right in the middle and make it 24 hours or something. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying it would be nice if you did that. That was like, continue.
I want to do it in Worcester for the convenience of the people of Worcester. I feel like there's a lot of people in Worcester that just want to play basketball and they can't because there's nowhere to play. I can't even go into my high school gym like that.
That's what I'm saying. So the rules and regulations are crazy out here. So if you just framing it.
I'm good.
No, I feel like I've been a part of this community, and I think that's what this community needs. I think that would be a big boost to the community.
Okay. Has obviously COVID going on? Has that taken like a hamper on your process of trying to do that, or is it?
I mean, not really, because I'm not in a rush.
Okay.
But I just want to. I mean, I just want to make sure it's like the right area, the right place, and if I can do that, I mean, I really think there's going to be a lot of people coming to the gym and playing.
I'll definitely be there.
I mean, and that's what it's for. Like, we play over here, and there's 30 kids in there at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
in a half-court gym that's slippery. You can't stand up on the floor, and we're packed in there.
That's a fact.
So if I mean, they're putting the baseball team downtown. Like, it's a growing point right now, and I think that a gym would be the perfect thing to get everyone involved in.
Word.
That'd be dope, man. Have a little stand in there for Woo Juice, to operate. That'd be really cool.
You know that.
You'll get the nutrition right there.
Right.
Shout out to Woo Juice, man, for sponsoring the episode today.
You'll put a smile on your face. And
That's
all
it.
that.
That's it.
I'm learning that.
That's it, man. Anything else from anybody?
The nickname for Boo just gonna have to be Boo Juice. You bring your boo through. I'm trying it.
And on that
I already told you at the beginning we're doing this shit, so we're gonna figure this out.
On that note, we appreciate the creativity. So just, hey, we're gonna cut that out. See you guys next week.
Peace.
All right, word.